Everything you've always wanted to know about real estate, but didn't know who to ask. I'm your host, Angie Stanley. Today we have a great lineup on our show. We have Trevor Smith, who is a realtor with Engel & Volkers Realty. We have Eric Adelano, who is a lender with New American Funding. And we have Suzanne Nickel, who is a probate and trust planning attorney with San Diego Probate Law. Hi, Trevor. How are you today?
Good, Angie. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show.
It's my
Tell
pleasure.
me, why did you become a realtor?
I became a realtor because actually my family's motto is there's always real estate. Third generation, and most of my family is involved some way or the other in the real estate industry. And it's great because I get to be partners with my dad, who's been around since 1976. That's a long time, and with it comes a lot of great local knowledge.
Wow, that's interesting. Sometimes the father-son or the daughter-mom teams, the older one brings the knowledge and the relationships, and the younger one can bring a little more of an innovative with the social media and all the things that the new realtors have. Do you find that to be the case with you guys' situation?
Absolutely. I'm in charge of all the technology for the office, and I make sure we're on the cutting edge of all the latest data and search features and the website, and just making sure that we're going more in the direction of mobile and really taking advantage to all the resources that the internet and technology have to offer.
Absolutely. There's so much out there. So a third generation realtor. So you didn't learn from your dad that this wasn't the place to be, so you obviously chose this as your profession as well. Tell me a little bit about that, the third generation realtor.
That's right. My grandfather was a realtor up in Orange County, and my father started in 1976. And then I started in 2006, which was actually 30 years after he started. And it was a terrible time in the market to begin. I remember 2007 quite well because, as fresh out of college, a 22-year-old kid trying to make his way and building a network and establishing a sphere of influence was rather difficult. But I was able to find my niche working with investors and rentals and flippers. And it really turned out to be my bread and butter. And from there, I was able to build my practice working with traditional buyers and sellers and giving them the best service they possibly can get.
Interesting. Yeah, that probably wasn't the easiest time to start out as a new realtor. So your niche, tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I come from a different background in that my family's always been involved in the investment side of real estate, both from owning rental property and also buying and rehabbing homes as an investment. So from that standpoint, I try, with my buyers anyway, to show them opportunities they may have otherwise missed, or homes that weren't marketed properly that they can really buy and make their own. And at the end of the ownership cycle, when it's time for them to sell, they're going to walk away with a nice tidy profit instead of maybe losing money like many sellers have found themselves, especially in the down market.
Interesting. Now, how do you market that as being your niche? How do people know that you offer those services?
Right now, it's mostly by referral, word of mouth, through my social networks and sphere of influence. Obviously, working with investors gives me access to listings, and from the listings, I get access to people who are out looking and shopping and buying, and also the neighbors who are interested in selling their homes. And I have a pretty good pitch in that I can usually sell homes for more money than the market would allow. I find higher values than other realtors can.
That's a huge benefit to you because that's what the sellers are really looking for. So tell me, what makes you different than other realtors?
What makes me different? Well, I come at it with a different mindset. I put my clients third, and that's very unique because a lot of realtors will say, well, I put my clients first. Well, I come at it differently because the first two things that are most important in my life are my God and my wife. Mm-hmm. And my clients know that, and I think they respect that. And also, I'm willing to give them the absolute best service they possibly can. And I will go absolutely out of my way to make sure that they don't necessarily get the right home, but they get the right deal. And if that home becomes the right home, that's part of the process. And I want to make sure that I'm with them every step of the way, from acquisition, the transaction, finding the right resources for labor and materials, and negotiating the right, not only value for the home, but also to say, to make this home really yours, it's not going to take a whole lot. And that, again, opens the market to more than they would possibly be interested in just shopping off the internet.
Interesting. That's definitely sets you apart. So kind of leading into that, tell me about San Diego Nice Guys.
The San Diego Nice Guys is a great organization. of about 100 members. They're mostly businessmen here in San Diego, and they get together and they raise money for individual cases. So people who generally fall through the cracks of other charities are referred to us, and we take them on a case-by-case basis. And our motto is, we like to give people a hand up, not a handout.
I love that.
It's great.
Sounds awesome. Is there an area of town that you specialize in?
Mostly North County coastal. My office is in Solana Beach, and that's where I grew up. I also work in Encinitas quite extensively, Cardiff, and all the way up to Carlsbad. Of course, I have sold in other parts of the county, and I consider myself quite the resource north of 56 and south of Camp Pendleton.
Awesome. Now tell me, Trevor, what are two good tips that you would give someone looking to buy in today's market?
Right now, it's important with such low inventory. You need to keep your options as open as possible. You cannot pigeonhole yourself into just one type of home. You need to be able to see there's opportunities elsewhere. You may not be able to see it right away, especially when you use the Trulias and the Zillows. You need local knowledge, and you need something along the lines of someone to explain that, you know, this home that I'm showing you may not be quite what you're looking for, but let me explain how we could get this to the home that you ultimately want. And the second tip I would advise is to actually work with somebody that has that local knowledge, to know the school districts, to know the changing in zoning and planning, to know the things that the city's going to do to make this area more economically prosperous and therefore increase the value of the home you're about to buy.
So important. Work with someone knowledgeable like yourself. And then as we wrap up, how about two good tips for someone looking to sell?
Looking to sell, first and foremost, make your home presentable. My motto is a premium product gets a premium price. If you do not present a premium product, you're not going to get a premium price. So do the best you can at staging, making sure your curb appeal is at the top of its game, and making sure that you do your best efforts to make the home presentable and showable and allow your schedule to be flexible for agents coming with their buyers to show your home. The more convenient you make it for a buyer's agent, the more attractive your home will be for showings.
Great tips, so important. Well, thank you so much, Trevor, for coming on the show today. And up next, we have Eric Adelano with New American Funding.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Nickel from San Diego Probate Law, and you're watching
Oakwood TV.
Oakwood TV.
Oakwood TV.
OakwoodTV.tv, the first online TV station for the real estate industry.